Welcome back to Chokitable Media. Let us talk about UK general election, the 2024 general election. The beginning, the end, and the future. The UK has gotten its first change in government in 14 years after the Labour Party won a landslide victory early Friday in the UK 2024 general election that saw the Conservative Party suffer its biggest defeat ever. This made the exit poll very correct in their watch and predictions. You know, they predicted who is going to win, who is not going to win, the numbers of seats they're going to get. All this were done yesterday, 4th of July 2024. But early this morning, 5th of July, the result kept coming out. It kept coming out, and it is so glaring now by noon today that Labour Party has won this 2024 general election in the UK. Rishi Sunak, the Conservative Prime Minister, has conceded to the verdict of this poll. He said in a statement that the British people have delivered a sobering verdict in his word, and conceded that the Labour Party has won the election, making Kier Starmer the new Prime Minister. After a ceremonial kissing of hand with King Charles III, Labour leader Kier Starmer has now officially become the new Prime Minister and can now form a majority government. You remember, the UK operates the parliamentary system of government. So, it is the head of the minister that is going to become, or that is becoming, the Prime Minister. Starmer has led Labour Party to a landslide election victory and becomes the first leader from the centre-left party to win a UK national election since Tony Blair, who won 3 elections in a row starting in 1997. The new Prime Minister, Kier Starmer, arrived in a car with his wife, Victoria, to number 10 Downing Street after meeting with King Charles III at Buckingham Palace. Before his arrival, the Labour Party supporters have lined up the street waiting, and upon his arrival, they started waving their flags, the small Union Jack flag, outside the number 10 Downing Street. The new Labour leader of UK then gave his first speech. He started off by thanking his predecessor Rishi Sunak before saying the work of change begins immediately. The new government faces huge challenges, including fixing the country's sluggish economy and social malaise resulting in part from Brexit, to COVID-19, the pandemic, the war in Ukraine, and several other Conservative Party scandals. Some of the promises from his speech are as follows. He said, 1. My government will make you believe again. We will rebuild Britain. Number 2. Number 3. Brick by brick, we will rebuild the infrastructure of opportunity. Number 4. He vowed to lead a government of service on a mission of national renewal. So, expectation is high from the voters, and Prime Minister Starmer, despite being a ranking politician in the country, will have to work hard to convince the citizen. Learning from the downfall of the Conservative Party and Rishi Sunak himself. On the part of Rishi Sunak, his problem was his lack of political savvy, in which in turn hurt the Conservative Party's chances in the election. Furthermore, before the election, the party had already been facing serious issues and missteps of the first multi-millionaire prime minister didn't help at all. Unlike some of his predecessors like Tony Blair and Boris Johnson, Sunak struggled to connect with the voters. Despite political advices not to call for an early election, he did so in May instead of waiting until January 2025. This decision, along with economic troubles, ethics scandals, and the leadership changes, led to the decline in conservative support. The party also seemed unprepared for the campaign compared to Labour Party, and voters didn't see improvements in the country's economy. I want you to listen to the speech, the last speech in front of Downing Street, made by Rishi Sunak today. And for your information, the new Prime Minister has appointed the key ministers in his cabinet, those you will be seeing as time passes by. Thank you for listening. This is Chokitable Media. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, share and like. Put on the notification button. God bless you as you do. See you next time. Cheers.
I told you the most important task I had was to return stability to our economy. Inflation is back to target, mortgage rates are falling, and growth has returned. We have enhanced our standing in the world, rebuilding relations with allies, leading global efforts to support Ukraine, and becoming the home of a new generation of transformative technologies. And our United Kingdom is stronger too, with the Windsor Framework, devolution restored in Northern Ireland, and our union strengthened. I'm proud of those achievements. I believe this country is safer, stronger, and more secure than it was 20 months ago. And it is more prosperous, fairer, and resilient than it was in 2010. Whilst he has been my political opponent, Sir Kier Starmer will shortly become our Prime Minister. In this job, his successes will be all our successes, and I wish him and his family well. Whatever our disagreements in this campaign, he is a decent, public-spirited man who I respect. He and his family deserve the very best of our understanding as they make the huge transition to their new lives behind this door, and as he grapples with this most demanding of jobs in an increasingly unstable world. I'd like to thank my colleagues, my cabinet, the civil service, especially here in Downing Street, the team at Chequers, my staff, CCHQ, but most of all, I'd like to express my gratitude to my wife Akshata and our beautiful daughters. I can never thank them enough for the sacrifices they have made so that I might serve our country. One of the most remarkable things about Britain is just how unremarkable it is that 2 generations after my grandparents came here with little, I could become Prime Minister, and that I could watch my 2 young daughters light Diwali candles on the steps in Downing Street. We must hold true to that idea of who we are, that vision of kindness, decency, and tolerance that has always been the British way. This is a difficult day, at the end of a number of difficult days. But I leave this job honoured to have been your Prime Minister. This is the best country in the world, and it is thanks entirely to you, the British people, the true source of all our achievements, our strengths, and our greatness. Thank you.